Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host Fondue.
And I'm Cheesy.
We're talking all about current events.
Ooh.
We're going to learn about a meat and cheese wind chime.
What?
Vegan cheese,
Ooh.
a crime, a song, and a festival.
Ooh.
We're talking dangerous cheese conditions.
Oh no.
Google search,
Ooh.
salad, Pizza Hut ramen,
What?
and booze.
Ooh.
And of course, no episode would be complete without our very cheesy joke.
Love a joke.
Stay tuned for episode 139, recent, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. This week is basically one full episode of my favorite segment.
This week in cheese.
According to BradfordEra.com, there's a really interesting festival in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
The Italian Market Festival happened 26 days before the writing of this article on June 13th.
Okay.
And the reason this is important is that basically this festival, people scramble up a greased pole
What?
for a shot at claiming prizes like meat and cheese.
Sounds kind of fun.
Right, it sure does.
Yeah.
But 26 days later, there was a lot of heat and humidity.
Oh.
And apparently there was a miscommunication between the festival organizers and the crane that usually takes down the unclaimed prizes.
Oh no.
I think you know where we're going with this.
Oh, yeah.
So the sacks of meat and cheese
Ugh.
were still dangling off the greasy pole
Ugh.
26 days later.
Ew.
And they dubbed it the world's worst wind chime.
Oh.
Mr. Lee, the maintenance man, said, and I quote, "I've been praying it doesn't hit anyone."
Oh no.
And apparently they said, thankfully, the smell wasn't noticeable or emanating from the pole.
Ooh.
I have to imagine it's either come down on its own or they've gotten it down, but the organizers did say that getting a rented crane back into that busy historic market is a bit difficult.
Oh no.
Hopefully it's all been worked out by now.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, let us know.
Yes, please.
According to plantbasednews.org, Canada really likes its vegan cream cheese.
Ooh.
They said so much so it's been baked into cheesecake,
Ooh.
put on bagels,
Yum.
and even rolled into sushi.
Ooh.
They give some tips for using it
Okay.
in place of dairy-based cream cheese.
Sure.
They say when whipping it, you want to ensure that the cheese, the bowl, and the whisk are all cold before you begin.
Okay.
And that you need to whip it for at least 3 to 5 minutes.
Whip it good.
They recommend keeping the oven at 325, and they recommend a longer cooking time for better stability.
Okay.
Most of the time, people are a little bit opposed to the vegan cream cheese or
Yeah.
cheeses in general because the taste and the texture are different.
Yep.
Well, according to technologyreview.com, they're using machine learning to try to get it right.
Whoa.
Several startup companies are training algorithms on data sets of ingredients with desirable traits like flavor, scent, and stretchability.
Ooh.
The article claims that it takes many years and tens of millions of dollars for traditional ingredient discovery.
Whoa.
And typically, with all that money and time spent, they say it's only incrementally better than previous generations.
Whoa.
Climax Foods has a machine that uses ion chromatography to show the precise balance of different acids and bacterial strains.
Wow.
They say it acts like an electronic nose.
Oh.
They use something called a rheometer, which tracks how cheese responds to physical deformation. This emulates slicing or chewing.
Whoa.
They're using this data to create a target baseline of performance that AI can try to reach with a different combination of plant ingredients.
Wow.
They've already created 5,000 cheese prototypes in the past 4 years.
Whoa.
And they estimate that they've analyzed roughly 100,000 plant ingredient combinations.
Holy cow.
They claim here that tasting and subtly adjusting the ingredient blends in so many prototypes by hand would take several thousand years.
Holy cow.
But using AI starting from zero in 2020, they've actually been able to formulate their very first cheese and bring it to market in 2023.
Wow.
I'm really curious to see how it's going to taste.
Me too.
According to WHIO.com, there is a cop that lost his job.
What'd he do?
A policeman in Germany was called to a vehicle crash which involved an overturned truck hauling a load of cheese.
Aw.
But this is where it gets a little bit rough.
Uh-oh.
The officer drove to the side of the truck.
Okay.
He told one of the rescue crew members to hand him 9 44-pound packages of cheese.
Oops.
The value of this was about $595,
Ooh.
and it weighed just under 400 pounds.
Holy cow.
So he took some of the cheese to his office,
Right.
and they don't know where else the cheese went, but they assume it was given to family and friends.
Ooh.
Apparently, he doesn't even like cheddar.
What?
And he tried to defend himself by saying it's worth nearly nothing, and if it wasn't kept cold, it would spoil.
Oh, boy.
So he wanted to save it from being destroyed. The court disagreed and said he committed a crime while on duty.
Yeah.
He was then dismissed from his job.
Right.
Did you know that Philadelphia Cream Cheese came out with their very own country song?
Really?
It's called Land of the Cream Cheese.
Ooh.
According to countrytown.com, country star Travis Yee brought this project to life. He shared the track with his 1 million TikTok followers in a partnership with Philadelphia.
Whoa.
And according to the lyrics, we've been whipping up American dreams. We stay hungry, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Cheesy wrote a song called Born to be Cheesy, and you can get
Yeah,
it anywhere
I did.
you download music.
Yeah.
Because Philadelphia Cream Cheese is currently not a sponsor.
Nope.
But when they are, their ad will go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah.
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
They do?
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay.
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY,
Cheesy.
that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay. Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. According to news-gazette.com, the Arthur Amish Country Cheese Festival has been hit with inflation.
Aw.
Last year, they ordered a 150-pound wheel of cheddar,
Whoa.
and it ran about $1,100.
Okay.
This year, it's over $1,900.
Holy cow.
It came in at $1,800 for the following. For 6 40-pound blocks of mild cheddar, 6 40-pound blocks of Kojak, and 6 40-pound blocks of Mediterranean Sunset.
Whoa.
It was $775 for 3 5-pound cases of Swiss wheels.
Okay.
For the cheese curling contest,
Ooh.
$735 worth of Ritz crackers, and this is my favorite,
Oh, boy.
$345 for a single case of curds
Okay.
for the cheese curd spitting contest.
Oh, my.
I didn't find anything else about the spitting contest, but
Oh.
I'm very curious.
Me too.
And they give away 90% of this cheese throughout 3 days of the festival.
Nice.
According to this next article, it might be a good idea to skip the Karopolis Cash Market on 4th Avenue. According to CBSNews.com, about 350 pounds of raw meat were thrown out during an inspection of this grocery store.
Uh-oh.
I don't know the base level of what is normal for an inspection, but this sounds pretty bad.
Oh, no.
They said they started with a recurrent roof leak in the room holding the dairy storage cooler and walk-in freezers.
Uh-oh.
They said the ceiling of the room was mostly missing and covered by foil.
Foil?
Then there were ceiling tiles stained with water
Oh.
and holes above the containers of cheese.
Oh, no.
And they also saw a pickle loaf swollen in the packaging.
Swollen.
I don't even know what pickle loaf is, but it sounds very bad.
Yeah, yuck.
They said the store was selling spoiled and moldy heads of cauliflower,
Oh, my.
oxidized chunks of salami that were partially opened, and expired baby formula.
That's bad.
6 of their blocks of soft cheese expired a year ago, and they were
Ooh.
still in the deli walk-in cooler.
Oh, no.
The meat department was the worst. It was covered in old debris,
Ew.
and the walk-in cooler was, quote, heavily soiled.
Oh, ew.
Black mold was found in the dairy display case,
Oh, my.
juice display, and meat display case.
Holy cow.
So maybe stay clear of this place.
Yeah.
I checked out Google Trends this week to find out the most searched for cheese. Stilton tops this list.
Really?
According to Britannica.com, Stilton is a classic English blue cheese. It's made from cow's milk, and it's named for a village close to the place where the cheese was first sold back in the late 18th century at a stagecoach stop called the Bell Inn.
Ooh.
They say it's actually never been produced in its namesake village,
Whoa.
and in modern times, the designation is restricted to 3 counties.
Wow.
The current increase in Stilton's popularity can be traced back to MasterChef.
Oh, wow.
According to OregonLive.com, a Portland cook gets thrown by a challenging last-minute ingredient.
Whoa.
According to SouthernLiving.com, there's a cheese dish that will impress even Grandma.
Really?
I'm going to say I think I doubt it.
Right?
The dish is called cheese slaw.
Cheese slaw.
This recipe can be traced back to Roanoke, Virginia,
Okay.
where Lib Wellham's famous cheese slaw appeared in the local Junior League cookbook Oh My Stars Recipes That Shine.
Wow.
Apparently, it's very much like pimento cheese. The
Okay.
essential ingredients of cheese slaw are shredded cheese and mayonnaise.
Ooh.
Here's the recipe.
Okay.
Shredded Swiss cheese.
Sure.
Mayonnaise, of course. They recommend Duke's
course.
for that classic tang that complements the flavors of this recipe. You have banana peppers,
Ooh.
scallions, and jalapenos chopped.
Okay.
You combine this all together until it's evenly coated. You chill and serve on crackers.
Yummy.
SoraNews24.com lets us know that Pizza Hut has a new menu item.
Really?
Grilled cheese ramen.
Ramen?
This dish has just cheese, seasoning, and noodles as ingredients.
Whoa.
And basically, the way they have it cooked here, it looks a lot like spaghetti.
Whoa.
According to GreenBayPressGazette.com, Knowlton House Distillery uses whey to make their gin and vodka.
No way.
Heather Mullins of this distillery is a pioneer in developing new uses for whey.
No way.
Things like protein supplements, baby formula, feed for farm animals, and of course, gin and vodka.
No way.
And they even offer discounts on the vodka and gin to farmers, milk haulers, and cheese producers.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, why is it difficult to count on cream cheese?
I don't know.
Because it spreads itself too thin.
Oh, that's
Get
so
it?
silly.
Yeah, I know it's silly and a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, episode 139, Recent.
Thank you.
Don't forget to check out our blog and join us on our socials as we celebrate today, National Mac and Cheese Day.
Stay cheesy, everybody.